We're going to talk a little bit about the song In the Garden today. It touches my heart because it was my mother's favorite song. And it was sung at her funeral. It was a part of history. I got to, at my previous church, quartet invited me up. My mother was present in the sanctuary, and they invited me up to sing to her. What a blessing that was to me. I got to sing to my mother the song In the Garden, and it's played a part in my history because my mother loved it so much, along with other great hymns. So it's just so dependable. Situations like when you get to sing to your mother, it just it touches your heart, makes you weep for the one you've lost, but you also have joy for the one that you got to be with while you were alive and she was alive. So it's a fantastic hymn. To this day, it can make me cry. I'm getting tears in my eyes right now just thinking about it and my mother and how dear she was to me. So it just touches my heart. And I thank God that He put people on this earth to write songs that have such deep meaning, and for us to shove those aside and not use them anymore, really, it burdens my heart to know that these things are in the past, and that's kind of why we're doing this, is to relive some of these moments. I can relive my mother through this song over and over and over again, and it's so dynamic. So I'd like to read you a little bit of the history of the song. The story behind In the Garden. Here's the account of how this beautiful hymn was written by the hymn writer Charles Austin Miles himself. One day in April 1912, I was seated in a dark room where I kept my photographic equipment and also my organ. I drew my Bible toward me, and it opened to my favorite book and chapter, John chapter 20. I don't know if this was by chance or by work of the Holy Spirit. I'll let you, the reader, decide. The story of Jesus and Mary in John 20 had lost none of its power and charm. It was as though I was in a trance as I read it that day. I seemed to be a part of the scene. I became a silent witness to that dramatic moment in Mary's life when she knelt before the Lord and cried, Rabboni. I rested my hands on the open Bible as I stared at the light blue wall. As the light faded, I seemed to be standing at the entrance of the garden, looking down gently a winding path, shaded by olive branches. A woman in white, with head bowed, hand clasping her throat as to choke back her sobs, walking slowly into the shadows. It was Mary. As she came upon the tomb upon which she had placed her hand, she bent over to look in and then ran away. John, in flowing robe, appeared looking at the tomb. Then came Peter, who entered the tomb, followed slowly by John. As they departed, Mary reappeared, leaning her head upon her arm at the tomb. She wept. Turning herself, she saw Jesus standing there. So did I. I knew it was He. She knelt before Him with arms outstretched and looking into His face, cried, Rabboni. I awakened in sunlight, gripping my Bible, with my muscles tense and nerves vibrating under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. I wrote as quickly as the words could be formed, the lyrics exactly as it is sung today. That same evening, I wrote the tune. It's sung today as it was written in 1912. The reading of this story enhances my attention to the detail of the Holy Spirit when the Holy Spirit descends upon you to write a song. I myself do not know that experience, but I'm so glad that history has this song written, and it again reminds me of my mother. Thank you.